How do you personally switch off from work stress? I walked out of the office building last Friday evening with my shoulders tight and my mind racing through all the emails I still needed to answer. And I knew I had to find a way to leave work behind before it consumed my entire weekend. The elevator doors closed behind me and I made a decision that would change everything about how I handle stress. Instead of taking the subway home like usual, I walked 10 blocks in the opposite direction to the community center, where I had seen a pottery class advertised on a bulletin board weeks ago. The instructor, an older woman with clay-stained apron, welcomed me even though I had no experience and handed me a lump of wet clay that felt cold and heavy in my hands. For the next 2 hours I sat at that wheel, trying to center the clay while it spun and wobbled under my palms, and every time my thoughts drifted back to spreadsheets and deadlines, the clay would collapse and I would have to start over. The repetitive motion of my hands shaping and reshaping the clay slowly emptied my mind of everything except the present moment. And by the end of the class I had created a wonky bowl that looked nothing like what I intended but felt like a masterpiece. Walking home that night, I realized I had not thought about work once during those 2 hours, and the tension in my neck had melted away like the clay scraps I had washed from my fingernails. The next week when stress started building up again, I found myself looking forward to Thursday evening pottery class instead of dreading another sleepless night of worrying about projects. Now when people ask me how I switch off from work, I tell them about finding something that requires your full attention and uses your hands in a completely different way than typing on a keyboard, because sometimes the best way to quiet your mind is to keep your body busy with something beautiful and messy and totally unrelated to your career.